My name is Wendy, and I want to thank you for listening to and trying to understand why some of us feel compelled to stand on street corners, be loud, wave signs, and maybe even singing songs of resistance and solidarity and hope for the future. We're not paid, but we are passionate about some of the things that we're seeing that are happening and feel like it's one of the few ways that we can reach out and make our voices and concerns known. I think one of the things that compels me to really stand out and make my voice heard is when Renee Good and Alex Pretti were murdered in Minneapolis. I have two sons living in Minneapolis, within a mile or so of the sites where they were killed. And when I saw the initial video when Alex was killed, I just saw that he had a beard, brown pant, Carhartt, like what my son wears, and the brown boots, like what my son also wears. So I was terrified to think that it would be something he would do to try and assist someone who was being assaulted and pushed down to the street and turned to try and help them. And so I quickly called my son and said, "Are you okay? Where are you?" And I was so grateful he picked up the phone, because honestly, I felt it could have been him laying in the street, killed. And so I felt like he's somebody's son. It ended up not being my son, which I was, for grateful, but he was somebody's son, and many of the people who were involved, their sons and daughters as well as someone. So it turned out Alex Pretti grew up in Wisconsin. He's was a VA nurse working at the VA hospital in St. Paul. And as a nurse myself, I saw that it was how instinctual it is to go to someone who's in need of help and ask, "Are you okay?" And those were his last words before he was pushed down, killed, and shot multiple times by the masked gun ICE agents that were roaming the streets and terrorizing Minneapolis. I live in a rural area, and my sons chose to move to the cities. They love that area. But it struck fear in my heart to think that what was happening there, and I think over and over many of us say, "I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening in our state, in our communities." So I think that's one of the reasons it's important. Being white, we feel like a lot of times we're assumed to be innocent and not much, somewhat shielded from being able to be from the violence, but I think all of us are susceptible to having it impact our lives.